Now then, I'm fishing a marina today on the canals, freshwater marina, plenty of structure. Look at all those boats behind me. I know for a fact there's a couple of monsters that live in here. I've caught some of the bigger ones before, but not the biggest. So today I'm coming on a mission to try catch, well, one of the monsters or the biggest one, which is a good double, like, well, high double, I'd say. Could even be some, like, maybe even a 20 in here for all we know, because there's just so many deep places for them to hide. It's not very fished at all, because you have to sort of get special permission. So I've been lucky, I've been able to get the special permission. You might be noticing this goatee thing I've got going. I was just going to shave my beard. If you've seen a few of my other videos, you notice I've got a bit of a winter beard going, but midway through shaving I decided to go a bit rogue and just try some out for a few days. So let me know what you think. Tempted to keep it and get a bit of a plait going, but you know, I'll stop chatting now and we'll get to some fishing. Also, actually, before I go, look at this jacket. Bit of forecast gear I'm working on with Harry from Bang Average Fishing. We've got a little clothing line in the works. You'll be hearing a lot more about that to come, but for now let's focus on the pike. So I'm just going to quickly bait the one rod. I had a bit of a tangle when I came, bit of a bad tangle, so what I've had to do is cut one of the rigs, so I'll have to re-rig one. Gone for mackerel today. Just gonna get a chunk of mackerel on the rig that still survived, and then I'm gonna cast this one out while I re-rig the other. So I've just gone for one treble up there. Always use the barbed one. If you're using regular pike traces, one should be barbed, the other should be non-barbed, and another down there. Tail first, then bottom. Just a very simple pike bait, that. And I'm fishing it on a very simple float rig. Couple of beads, little stop, and straight onto the trace. So that's the second rod rigged up. Gonna be using the head of the fish I just cut up earlier. I know they sort of prefer tails, but want to make good use out of my bait. Just mash that up a bit with my knife, as per. Not using any oils or anything today, just keeping it simple, keeping my hands nice and not covered in mackerel oil. We'll get this cast out, and then I think we can sit down and have a chill out. Traps are set now. 2 rods out, one on the left, one on the right. Simple float rigs. I'll talk you through the rods now while we've got a bit of peace and quiet. So on the right hand side we have the Smuggler Max by Rigged and Ready. This is a really over 3 meter travel rod, 3-pound test curve, maybe even a bit bigger. This is a sea rod, pike rod and carp rod all in one. That's coupled with the 6000 bait runner that they've got on with 60-pound really heavy high diameter braid. And over here we have the X5 Max. This is a slightly shorter rod. It's a more powerful older brother of the X5 Adventure, so this can actually be a 2-handed fly rod, a salmon rod as well. But I've got it coupled with my Penn 6000 sea spinning reel, and again 60-pound high diameter braid with a float rig on the other side. I'm fairly confident today is not going to be the day, but it is an absolute dream of mine to catch a 20-pound pike. So the moment I do catch one on this channel, I'll make sure it's on film when I do, but I will be over the moon with that. I know my PB is relatively low, it's about 12 pound or something, and even then I caught that. It was a bit of a precarious situation when I caught that. You might have seen in one of my other videos. So I am looking for a PB today. I'm looking to catch a 12 pound or more, but the day I catch a 20 pounder will be a very happy day. Let me know what your PBs are in the comments below. I'm always interested to know. But as it always is with dead baiting, now the waiting game begins. Got about 4 hours today. Hopefully I'm going to be able to make it count. I'm quite underprepared for today's trip. Nature Valley Crunch and a Kit Kat's all I've got for my lunch. And the rain's starting. Just had to recast because I saw my float moving. Wasn't the bite though, I just think I had too much slack lining because I'm using heavy braid. Maybe the current just sort of took it a bit. Always good to check though, you don't want to be dealing with a deep hooked pike. I've got my rigged and ready unhooking mat and my rigged and ready landing net ready. I'm loving this unhooking mat at the moment. It's getting some good use, both centimetres and inches. You can actually get 10% off any rigged and ready product on their website with code AFUK10. That includes rods, reels, unhooking mat, landing net, so if you need anything, check it out. Gonna go for a bit more distance on this one, I think. I've just had a bite. Fish on. Fish on. Fish on, come on. Didn't take long after casting. Not a bad fish, this. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Come on. So pleased about this. Right, come on, I need to just get that net now. Oh, come on. I've just seen I've actually caught this fish before. Got it in the net. Oh, come on, let's get over to the unhooking mat. Oh, it's a nice fish. It's a nice fish. Just look at that, first pike of the day. I'll get a weight on it for you in a minute and a length. But I've caught this fish before, you can tell by its distinctive jaw, only once before. Easy unhook job, quick out the water. What a beautiful fish, length, weight, then I'll get it back. But what a fish, what a start to the trip. So I'm just giving this fish a good old rest before I get a weight on it, just because you need to do that after unhooking, especially if you're showing a fish up to the camera. And obviously I make YouTube videos, so I do show a fish up to the camera, but don't worry because I very, very regularly rest my fish too. So this fish is coming in just shy of 30 inches, about 76 centimetres. Lovely pike. Let's get a weight, then let's get him back. So in the net, this fish is coming in at about £7.12. I think he's just about ready. There he goes. I can't sing the praises of these high enough. You really need a pair of these. I think these are the Fox Rage long pliers. So good for unhooking. If you only take one thing with you, obviously you should have as much as you can in terms of fish care, but this is the single most important piece of kit when unhooking a fish. So that fish is just shy of £8. Really good start to the trip. I'd be happy just going home with that, to be fair. It's been a while since I've had a fish like that. So got about 2 hours left, maybe a bit longer, maybe 2.5. I've only been here about 1.5. And ideally I'm looking for one double that size, or at least 1.5 times that size is very doable in the next couple of hours. So we'll see how it goes. If you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really helps the channel. If you're wondering how I know that I've caught that fish before, had a really weird mark on its jaw, sort of like a slight deformity. In fact, I'll actually show you the footage of me catching that. I'll slip that in now. That was about a month or 2 ago or something. Yeah, I'll show you when I last caught it.
Middle.
Fish on. Doesn't feel quite as big, this one. Yeah.
Oh, this looks nice, that. Oh, this looks nice, that.
Ooh. So this fish is measuring 70, 71, 72, 73, about 74 centimetres this. So this is a lovely marked fish. Not quite the same sort of size as the last, but a brilliant catch. Well, it's been about 1.5 hours since those last 2 fish. Really happy to just be back on them and to be catching them when they're coming out of this size. Now on to the next bait. Same again, gonna go one tail, one head. It was actually the head, surprisingly, that caught that last fish. But I'm just gonna put, in fact no, I will put the head on. Why wouldn't I? After it's just worked. So I did say before, but just to say again, this is mackerel. Just gonna get this fresh mackerel out, very similar place to where it just was. Maybe a tiny bit more central. Oh, there's a big shoal of fish moving right over there. Oh, come on. These swans better stay well away from my line. It's clever how these swans know to go around a float. Right through that narrow channel there. Just look how far out I casted it. They must know exactly what the crack is with this line. Just gonna try a cheeky little cast down here with this rod, I think. Mix things up a bit. Just get it right in that little pocket there where the marina joins the main canal. I have just seen this twitch. Literally, it's only been down there for 1 minute. Definite twitch on the bottom. That has to have been a fish. Float hasn't moved since. Just the tiniest little discreet movement. Well, I suppose that was a mistake from me. I struck at it just because I hate the thought of deep hooking a pike and it being really uncomfortable for it. Well, I suppose catching a fish is uncomfortable for it in the first place, but you don't ever want to be dealing with a deep hooked pike if it's all avoidable. Saw a twitch, definite bit of interest. Gave it a few seconds, no more movement, so you just got to check in that situation because you really just never know. It could have been down there swallowing it whole. Anyway, lecture over. It's now too dark to fish, so I'm gonna have to call it a day at that. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't catch another fish, but what more can you do? I've come for about 3 or 4 hours. It's not, can't be expecting too much from that, can I? So I'm happy to come away with an 8-pounder. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment. Catch you down the road.